Hey everybody, it is well actually right now it's like 1:30 in the morning, so it's officially Saturday, March 26, 2016. But this is supposed to be our Friday show, and it would be the Friday show, but it's going to be more or less a review of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. And I know we did one on Wednesday and Monday and like 9 other times, Nick, but it's so good. I went and saw it tonight. It's so good. I can actually not say anything bad about. I mean, it sure it does have a few spots in it where you kind of question it, but it's so good. And I want to get into that in a minute. But anyway, yes, this is Radio Tokyo. I'm Jonathan. Nick's here, and we're going to talk about the movie. And yes, there are spoilers. No, I will not tell you how it ends, just in case you're wondering. I will not tell you that. I will tell you the source material, because as a DC Comics fan, I was able to identify every storyline in this. I'm that damn good. Anyway, hi Nick, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie, definitely. Because, you know, we've been looking forward to this for a long time. And that makes me look forward to seeing the movie. I'm hoping to see it tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
It's so dude, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, just to get this shit out of the way, kind of like we did with last time. Uh, there is no other Batman other than Ben Affleck. He's fucking beautiful in the role. Uh, Henry Cavill is actually better at being Superman in this than he was in Man of Steel, and that's saying a lot because you and I kind of hated Man of Steel for various reasons, but whatever.
I,
Um,
I, I never really hated Henry's role in Man of Steel, though. I actually liked his role. I just hated a lot of the story situations they put him in, like
well,
his dad dying during the tornado. That was so stupid, and
okay,
just other little things.
well,
But I actually like him.
remember
I
the other day
actually
how I
like
said,
him.
remember the other day how I said that uh, it's it's a Superman of a different universe.
Yeah.
We're getting that with every character. Oh, by the way, uh, our theme music for this is actually a very short clip of Wonder Woman's theme and her holding her bracers up. So just in case you're wondering what the hell that random intro is, that's what it is. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that song is stuck in my fucking head. I would play it right now, but I don't want to risk the copyright lawsuit. Actually, before we even get into this, I do want to say hi to a friend of the show, hi, Pit Monk X. I promised you I would mention you. Actually, I didn't really promise you I'd mention you. I just said I would tag you in this on Facebook, and I'm going to. But hi, thank you for watching. Go see the fucking movie, dude. Go see it. And speaking of you doing things, pimp, you need to be on our show at some point in time. Anyway, back to talking about the movie because Jesus Christ, Nick, Wonder Woman is probably the, oh okay. Everything about the movie is so good, but Wonder Woman is probably the best of the so good things.
I mean, even like, and I mean, I've read a lot of the bad reviews, but every single review almost, I think, maybe outside of one or two of them, everyone loves Wonder Woman. Everyone loved her on screen. They wanted more of her, a lot more of her. So yeah, that's probably DC's brightest spot actually is Wonder Woman, and then maybe Batman. It's from what I've been hearing.
No, okay. I'm gonna start with Wonder Woman because she's, dude, Gal Gadot is one, she's fucking gorgeous. Two, she is exceptionally talented. Okay, um, not having really seen her in anything else before, and I know she's done some other things, but I never really seen her in anything. And even though I think she was in Fast and Furious, but I've never watched the movies, so I don't know. Um, yes, she does have this very vague storyline. No, you don't actually get her background, which is what we discussed this Wednesday and like 9 other times now. But
Oh yeah, I was laughing hilariously at your first text to me when you were watching the movie.
yeah, I'll get in that shit in 2 minutes. Um,
Cause I'm not I don't care if the movie was awesome. I'm not letting you live that down.
oh no, actually, after I sent that to you, I kind of dropped it, and I'll get into that when I get to Batman. Holy shit. Okay, where was I? Um, okay,
Wonder Woman.
yeah. When you see her, um, like you don't even hear the name Diana Prince. She's not called uh, uh she's not called ambassador or anything like that. Okay, well actually she is called Mrs. Prince one time in the whole movie. Okay, uh, but when she shows up, she's a complete mystery. And Bruce Wayne when he actually sees her, it's at the party where he meets Clark Kent. He is there to steal information from Lex, and suffice to say, Diana, which, in case those of you are wondering, our cat girl mascot for Rio Tokyo actually got her name from Wonder Woman. Now you know. Anyway, Diana. Uh,
I actually did not know that.
yeah, now you know. But Diana is actually watching Bruce. Like she knows why he's there, and she's following him. And he sees her, and he's just mm, like just doing like that the whole time. And
I mean,
it's
it is
it's
Wonder Woman.
no, it's Gal Gadot, and like I said, she's ecstatically gorgeous. She really is. She's a beautiful woman. Um, so I understand, like just like my reaction to her is exactly what Bruce Wayne was having, and it's like, he doesn't actually do that, but he does joke with Clark Kent. He's like, beautiful woman, old habits, like that.
See, you gotta tone it down. We're trying to keep it PG.
I know. Anyway, like I said, she does know why he's there. Okay, uh, and the slipping into the car thing to get away from him, it's perfect. Like it sets her up to be a mystery. Now, going into the movie, if you know who she portrays, you know you can kind of understand why she's so goddamn secretive. Okay, uh, but long story short, the reason Bruce Wayne is at Lex Luthor's party, and yes, I will be discussing Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor because it's good. Anyway, the reason he's there is to steal information about the kryptonite that Lex is trying to weaponize. Okay, and that's the whole reason the government's involved, and I'll explain what the Senate hearing is actually over. There's more than one, by the way. Anyway, Wonder Woman knows that Bruce Wayne is there to get the information, so she steals it before he gets it, and he finds out who she is because he sees her again somewhere, so he kind of follows her, uh, and they have a little conversation about it, and she says that she didn't steal the information from him. What it was she was borrowing it because Lex had a photograph that belonged to her. Okay. Uh, so Bruce gets it back, goes home, looks at it, and finds this photograph. Now, what this is that Lex has on the information that Bruce has stolen, um, there's little logos. There's a double W, and there is a lightning bolt, and there's basically it's the emblems of every member of the Justice League. Okay, and it's in a file called MetaHumans. Now, metahumans has been brought up before. People who are not human. They're above humans. They're better than all supermen, superheroes in other words. Okay. Lex has been keeping
Yeah,
tabs. Yeah, Lex has been keeping.
it's a common term in the CW series.
Yeah, Lex has been keeping tabs on the metahumans. Okay. He knows. Thus far, he knows about Wonder Woman. Cyborg is actually being built. When you see Cyborg, by the way, it's incredible. You're not told exactly what the fuck's going on, but you see him. He's like a torso on up, and he's dead, and his dad is rebuilding him. Okay. The
That's pretty sweet.
footage, the footage for Flash is him in a convenience store. And it's being robbed, and then you see like this lightning and shit, and then he vanishes for like in the time you can blink your eye, and then he's back. Okay. This is not the Flash we have on the TV show. This is the Flash that we have uh, that actually shows up in Batman's Nightmare type thing. Okay, well actually it's not. This is the Flash that can actually bend reality until it works for him. Okay, so he can travel through time. He can cross universes. Okay, he's that Flash. The most exciting metahuman footage that Lex Luthor has is actually that of Aquaman. Oh my god. He is on screen for maybe 30 seconds, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. He's inside of a shipwreck, and these explorers are finding it, okay? And he's in you remember how I told you that supposedly he was actually watching the fight between Doomsday and the Trinity?
Yeah.
He's not. What that was uh, his scene in Lex's footage. Okay, what it is, he's inside a sunken ship, and this little uh, robotic diver thing is filming it, and then you see these eyes shine in the darkness, and then they start moving closer to this hole inside the ship, and then here he is all of a sudden, like his hair is floating around him, and you know what Jason Momoa looks like, okay? Like he's covered over in tattoos. He has um, this armor plating on one arm. Like there is literally no other way to describe him other than being the living, breathing Aquaman. And he sits there in the water for a minute. He like just like the currents are carrying his hair and everything. And then he pulls up his trident and smashes the camera, and then it's black. It's so good. Oh no, I'm sorry. He does one more thing. He rockets the fuck off through the water like it's a torpedo. He just boom, he's gone. Okay.
I
Um,
mean, I have to say, of all the redesigns that I've seen so far, Aquaman is by far the best redesign of any of the DC heroes that they're doing in the movies.
I
Like, he just looks amazing. Like, he really does. Like, I have no problem with how Aquaman looks or the redesign or anything.
I've never really been that big of an Aquaman fan. I think you know this by now because you know me for fucking ever at this point in time. But anyway, um, I love
I mean,
this. I love this
I
iteration of Aquaman. Like this is Jason Momoa. There can be no other Aquaman for me right now.
I've heard a lot of people tell me that Aquaman's really cool and that he actually has a lot of cool stories, but it I since I haven't gotten to read the comics as much as I'd like, it's cool to finally see him be that cool guy on the big screen, or hopefully when I see it, I'll think the same.
It's cool. Okay. Anyway, getting into the main two. It's not that Wonder Woman is not one of the main characters. I want to talk about B versus S. Day versus night. The Bat of Gotham versus uh, the Last Son of Krypton. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Batman. I'm gonna go with him first because reasons. Um, yes, the movie does
Because
show.
you're Batman.
Do it.
Because you're Batman.
Yes, because I'm Batman. Yes, the movie does show his parents being killed. Yes, the first thing I said to Nick was "fuck me." They're showing Bruce's parents being killed. Um,
They
that's how the
showed
movie.
his backstory.
Yeah, they have the origin story. The thing is, the origin
No,
story actually plays directly into the founding of the Justice League.
no, I don't care. They played his
No,
backstory.
no, 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 no.
I
Did,
don't care. I don't
did you not
care.
he- did
No,
you
I'm not
not
gonna let
hear
you
me?
live this down. I'm not gonna let you live this down. You made such a
Did
big
you
point
not
about
hear
it.
me?
I, I don't care if you like it or it works or anything. I'm not going to let you live this down. I laughed so hard.
You can laugh all you want to, but here's the thing. The death of Thomas and Martha Wayne is the first step for Bruce Wayne becoming a member of the Justice League, okay? This is not just the impetus for him becoming Batman. This is him becoming a member of the Justice League. Like it's that integral to the story. Uh Dude, by the way, the car chase sequence, well, it's not really a car chase. It's when you see him 18 months prior to this, when Superman first shows up and Gotham's being destroyed. He comes in on a helicopter from Gotham, which, by the way, is it's across the harbor. So they're pretty much linked
It's
by a
always
waterway now.
confusing about how close the cities are because it's haven't it been different distances and different iterations.
I'm used to them being about 30 miles apart, and which is fine. But this, it's they're in this they're probably uh, a mile and a half, 2 miles apart. We have
Because
got a lot of background noise, by the way.
I've seen everything from like 100 miles to a mile to it, it's something that's really weird in the DC universe, I'd say.
Anyway,
Oh,
they're across a harbor, and it's cool. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, okay, yeah. The he drives through Metropolis as Superman and Zod are fighting, and it's one of the best sequences of the movie. It also actually sets up him driving the Batmobile. Holy shit! Like it's nosebleed awesome. I do want to say that yes, I was right. Yes, this is an older Batman. Yes, this is an angrier Batman. He is quite pissed off about everything. He is tired of taking people's shit. And by the way, his relationship with Alfred is pretty much the relationship that you and I have, Nick. Like they're it's not exactly much older man mentoring much younger man. It's almost as if they're well, actually, they are best friends in this. Like it's just like it's more like um a cool uncle and his nephew, like who or whatever. It's they have this relationship where you can tell they've been working together and living together so long that they could probably finish one of their sentences. Okay, uh, Alfred really does not do anything that's typically butlerish for Bruce, except bring him a cup of tea, and then Bruce returns the favor later on. In fact, when Bruce is out being Batman, Alfred is actually in the Batcave, like talking to him over a headset and getting drunk.
yeah. Hmm. I don't know. Would I do that? Maybe. Or would you be the one doing that? That's a
You,
question.
you just get the feeling that this Alfred has seen some shit and done some shit. Like he's uh, not really this old, doddering old man. But anyway, uh, Ben Affleck's portrayal of Bruce Wayne is spot on. His portrayal of Batman is spot on. There is a scene early on in the movie. In fact, it's the one where you see the dude who's been branded. And yes, that is Batman's thing. He's branded two people in this. Yes, he does kill people. Just go ahead and get out of the way. Yes, he does kill people. Uh, he,
I do kind of have a problem with that.
I don't, because if you've read Dark Knight Returns, which is okay, the storylines for this are Dark Knight Returns, for both Batman and Superman. There's elements of Death in the Family, Hush, Funeral for a Friend, and a few other things. But the main Superman storyline is actually Death of Superman. Okay, the reason that is because Doomsday shows up and the fight and everything in there. Oh, by the way, just to go ahead and get started away before we get to there. Yes, Doomsday does actually grow his uh, bone armor, and yes, he does get more powerful the more attacks you laying him with. Anyway, um, Batman's amazing. Uh, there's even a scene where the police officers are trying to find him, and he's literally clinging to the fucking wall up by the ceiling. It's like he is some sort of demon, and he's rescued a bunch of sex slaves, and they're trapped in a cage, and the police are trying to get them to come out, and this girl in front just reaches over and just very calmly closes the gate, and she's like, she's speaking, I want to say Vietnamese, I'm not sure, but anyway, she's like, he's still here, and they're chattering like it's a demon. This demon just came in and saved us, and he's still here. And they won't close the cage because you can hear the screams coming from upstairs because Batman is beating the shit and branding their kidnapper like a floor above him. So the cop goes there looking for him, and
That
this
is
this.
pretty cool.
And it's really creepy music, like it's kind of like uh I want to say the '89 Batman movie, where the cops are like, "I fucking saw him, man! I saw him! I can't believe it!" And that's it. That's what they do. They're like, "Holy shit! I just saw him. He's actually real." Now, of course, him having been in Gotham for 20 years now, and actually being Batman in Gotham for 20 years now, he is still a myth. Like, it is the one thing that was missing through Nolan's Batman movies. It's like, did you see him? Yeah, I saw him. And you get the kind of disbelief. Actually, I take it back. In Dark Knight Rises, in the chase sequence where he's chasing Bane and his henchmen, that one older cop who's like, "Oh, you're in for a show tonight." That would be this this cop who has seen Batman up in the corner. That would be him when he's older. Okay, because like I said, Batman, like it's fucking terrifying. I can't even describe to you like what he looks like just up in the corner. Like you just see this dark figure, and the camera kind of pans, and the officer pans. He's like, and he starts shooting at Batman, and Batman just fucking vanishes. The other cop wanders in and almost gets shot. Oh, dude, it's beautiful. The fight sequence where he's fighting a bunch of other gang members later on in the movie. It's perfect. Jesus Christ. He gets shot in the back of the head twice. He gets stabbed in the shoulder, and he just like yanks the knife out and then kills the guy. It's oh god, it's beautiful. This is the Batman I've been wanting to see. Like the world has literally been waiting to see. It's perfect. It's exactly what you think Batman would be, even with the killing people. But I will say every death that at his hands is actually justified. His cruelty and mistreatment of people that he's capturing for the police is justified. Like it's beautiful.
Hmm.
Did I
I
shock you
mean,
into silence?
no, I mean, I, I just sort of have a problem with Batman killing people.
I don't. It's
I mean,
wonderful.
he
It's
sounds
wonderful.
awesome. No, like everything you say sounds awesome. My only hiccup is probably the killing people. That's my only hiccup.
Let's see. Okay. When I walked out of the theater, there were like some younger people there. They were probably 19, 20 years old. They were actually arguing like Batman doesn't use guns. And there's like, did you not see him use guns in the movie? It's like, no, Batman never did it. in the original source material, in the original fucking source material, the original version of Batman, um, and you can kind of see this in Batman Year One. Uh, Batman was based off of a German character just called the Bat, and he originally had some. There's a few storylines in there where he actually does stuff like the Bat did in the German stories, and that was to tattoo bats on people he had captured and leave them hanging upside down, blood dripping everywhere. Okay, this is literally what Batman is. You know, he's completely dropped the no guns. From the Nolan thing. No, he fucking uses guns, and he uses them very well. Um, he uses the Batmobile as a weapon. I mean, like he rams things. He holy shit. He uses a grappling hook from the vehicle and grabs this gang member car and during a chase sequence with it, and he pulls the fucking car behind him, and it's flipping around and smashing everywhere. And you know that the people in there are long since dead, but like there's sparks and shit going everywhere. He, it's beautiful. It's beautifully done. Like this is exactly the Batman I would like to see. And you can say, well, I'm uncomfortable with Batman killing all you damn well, please. When you watch this, you'll understand. This is the Batman who has seen some shit. This is an older Batman. He's long since done away with. He's long since done away with the whole. Um, I'm not gonna hurt anyone thing. Like this is the product of all the training he's ever done in his entire life. Okay. Um, the reason is, and this is something that's kind of alluded to. He essentially has PTSD. The other day, you mentioned that there's a lot of 9/11 symbology in this. Yes, there is. He survived it, and he has seen some serious shit. Like I said, PTSD, depression, anxiety is rampant in him. So he reacts to it, and that's where the line that Alfred says um, about good men doing bad. I don't remember how it was phrased. That's where that comes from.
Hmm. Alright, go ahead.
But as far as Superman, there is a quote which I actually found out that was part of it was actually used on Superman's armor in this because he actually does have a different costume than he did originally. By the way, this one is different than Man of Steel. Uh, his costume in this actually has a uh, glittery metallic undersuit underneath it, and the actual Superman costume stretches over that. So any openings in the Superman costume you see actually show the uh, the metallic portion underneath, so that way he looks like he's made of steel. It's a nice little touch. But anyway, it's got some scroll work
Hmm.
and some writing and stuff on it, and around his waist there is a line from Joseph Campbell, and it says, "We shall come to the." Actually, I'm going to just give you the whole quote. And where we had thought to find an abomination, we shall find a god. Where we had thought to slay another, we shall slay ourselves. Where we had thought to travel outward, we shall come to the center of our own existence. Where we had thought to be alone, we shall be with the world. Think about that shit for a second. That right there is your deeper message in the movie, Nick. You remember you asked me what it was that was going to be that it's that.
Hmm. I mean, I, I just don't know if I'm impressed with that message.
You should be. Okay, but before this drags on too long, because this is just supposed to be a review of the movie, I do want to talk about Lex Luthor for a little bit. He's insane. Jesse Eisenberg
I
does a
well,
really, really good
I
job.
heard I've heard very different things about Lex Luthor. Some people love him, some people hate him. I'm like really curious about him actually.
He does a really good job. Now he's it's basically Eisenberg getting to play Jesse Eisenberg. You know, like it's this unrepentant asshole attitude you get when you look at. In fact, think of him as Mark Zuckerberg. You know, like the version of Zuckerberg he did, where he's just this arrogant little shit, and you just want to choke him.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
heard that comparison a lot of times.
it is. Now imagine that with this very animated personality, okay? Arrogant shit with an animated personality. That's Lex Luthor. This is actually Lex Luthor Jr. The dad is apparently dead. But it is Lex from the comics. Um, he is. I kind of said this the other day about him being like a mad scientist. Yes, he is a mad scientist. He does want to experiment on Zod's body. He wants to experiment with kryptonite. Uh, and this is one of the big spots in the movie here. He plays mind games with Senator Finch, who is Holly Hunter's character. You know, the one who does the hearings. He plays this game with her, and during the hearing where Superman shows up, uh, the end result of that is he kills everyone in the room. Okay, with a bomb. So that's big plot point number one. But he fucks with her and tries to threaten her, and she tells him that he can offer her whatever she wants to, uh, but to her, uh, he could hand her a jar of his piss with the label Granny's sweet tea, Granny's peach tea on it, and she wouldn't even take a drink because she's aware of exactly what he is. So during the hearing, of course, she reaches for a drink because her mouth has gone dry because she realizes what it is she's saying about Superman, and it's a jar of piss with Granny's peach tea written on it, and she looks at it and the bomb goes off.
That one's just kind of weird.
Oh, it's not weird. Like it's actually a beautiful moment in the story, because you realize at that point in time exactly how insane Lex is. Um, just to give you some shit he tries to pull. He has hated Superman from the word go from this, because Superman's destruction of Metropolis, where he stepped in and tried to be benevolent and try and rebuild Metropolis and everything, it's actually cost him a immense amount of money to try and rebuild the city. Um, so he has figured out that wherever Lois Lane is, Superman will go. If she's in trouble, he'll come save her. Uh, the point in time where I said that Superman actually kills someone to save her, the other day, yes, that is what uh, he does. He throws the guy through a fucking wall, but it's actually a setup from Lex. Uh, Lex kills his own assistant in the bombing. Um, he's responsible for Doomsday. He finds out all the metahumans. He finds out that Superman is Clark Kent, and he kidnaps Martha Wayne. I'm sorry, Martha Kent. Oh, which by the way, that goes back to Bruce Wayne's parents. The foundation of the Justice League. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say what happens, but it does have to do with uh, Thomas and Martha Wayne, and then Jonathan and Martha Kent. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But at the end of the movie is fantastic. Wonder Woman shows up. There's this big, beautiful fight, and it's wonderful. Superman actually does get nuked in this, so he does kind of float in space with this dead look on him, and that's where a portion of Dark Knight Returns come in. So there's the fight with Batman and his armor. and then Superman being nuked and then falling back to Earth. That's straight out of Dark Knight Returns. Death of Superman, as I mentioned, is the storyline where uh, Doomsday shows up and Superman gets his ass kicked by Doomsday and has to have help from Wonder Woman and Batman. That's in there. Death in the Family is referenced because there is a dead Robin. We don't know who it is, but there is a dead Robin. There's a bunch of stuff like actual really good DC storylines, including Funeral for a Friend, which I'm not going to tell anyone what Funeral for a Friend is. If you know what it is, you know why I'm mentioning it, and that's giving away the ending of the movie. But it's really really good, and I know we've never really given anything like 5 stars before, Nick, but I would give it 5 stars.
It's a high rating.
It is. It's really good. Uh, yes, there are a lot of things that are kind of shoehorned in there. Like Wonder Woman showing up finally. It's like, okay, well, she's. You could almost say she's all of a sudden there, like but like I said, she's been there throughout the movie. Like you see her almost continually. The nightmare sequence reveals Flash. It reveals Darkseid. A bunch of shit goes on. But it is fast paced. But they're trying to cover uh, a lot of stuff within 2.5 hours. That if they had paced it out, we would not have gotten all of this stuff set up in one movie. So I understand the pacing for it, but I do think, like I said, with them trying to combine stuff like Death Superman, Dark Knight Returns, and everything like that, Zack Snyder he actually did make a good decision to make the movie, the pacing of it be as quick as he did. It's actually a good choice, and
I
it
also
does pay
wonder
off.
if it would have been better if he made two movies, maybe, or I don't know.
Probably, but this is not really Batman versus Superman. This is actually more Dawn of there's more emphasis on Dawn of Justice put into this than there is Batman versus Superman. Okay, and so if you're going to
I
this,
well, because that's maybe the one thing I think probably would have fixed a lot of uh, the problems that I think I'm going to have with the movie is if they actually made a Batman versus Superman movie and then made a Dawn of Justice movie. Like next year or later this year or something. I don't know.
well, see, the whole BVS portion of it is what actually sets up the Dawn of Justice. Like that shit has to happen. Like you
But
have
I
to
mean,
go
you could
from.
have done like they could have done like a cool sequel, like a month later or something. Or I think there are ways they could have handled this a bit better, in my opinion.
It could have easily been divided up into two separate movies, but like I said, the pacing of it is it. Okay, for about 3/4 of the movie, you're going to expect it to be the BVS portion, and yes, they do fight. Uh, there's only one real actual fight in the movie. Uh, they do have a face-to-face moment where Superman rips off the cockpit of the Batmobile, and Superman tells him, uh, I don't remember it word for word, but he says something like, "The next time they shine your light in the sky, don't bother to show up because the bat is dead." And then and that's when Batman asks him if he bleeds. Uh, so the movie definitely sets up their fight, and so they do fight. So you get that, but it's the last portion of it that's the Dawn of Justice, and looking at it, from like the end on back towards the beginning, I can see exactly how it was geared towards the Dawn of Justice idea, and that's going to be the major stepping stone. There is enough in this movie to give you an idea of who these characters are and what they can do. Uh, Now I know we had some disagreements about how Marvel, for example, built up theirs with all these little individual movies and the TV shows and everything like that. But this was able to pull it for me. It was able to pull it off pretty quickly. I mean, like the 2 or 3 minutes per other characters we have. Uh, that are going to be in the JL. It pulls it off really well. It's quick, and you get the understanding that these people are important to the storyline, but they're not important enough to actually be involved in it right yet. Like something's going to happen, and there is dialogue at the end that everyone has avoided mentioning. Uh, Batman actually says something to. Well, actually, it's Bruce Wayne talking to Diana Prince, and he says something to her that does indicate that yes, the Justice League, or whatever name you want to call it, because it's not officially being called that yet. But he says that they need to band together, you know. Uh, and she's like, why? And he says, it's just a feeling. So there's going to be some shit going to happen. I do want to mention very quickly the sequence with Lex Luthor in jail. It's beautifully done, and it's amazing. It's really go see the fucking movie. That I mean, like I've been going on for like 45 minutes now. Just go see the goddamn movie, and yeah,
Cool. I'm glad to hear that you had fun. I,
I
I,
will.
I really am. I'm very glad that you enjoyed it.
I will probably
And
go see it again. To be honest, like it's worth seeing 2 or 3 more times because there's just so much detail crammed into it. It's unreal. But go see the movie. It's worth it.
yeah, I'm gonna see it hopefully tomorrow. And then I guess I'll let everyone know what I think on Monday.
Okay.
Probably not
Well,
gonna be this long of a review. I mean, just, obviously. But
how about Monday after you've seen it? We do the spoiler free review since I've pretty much given everything away in this one.
I, I'll try. I'll try. I'll try not to give away any spoilers. Although we've been doing spoilers the entire week, so
Yeah, but okay, 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 okay. Fuck it. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, Superman dies. Uh, yes, he comes back. That's all. That's really all I can say. Um, okay, okay. Do you remember how I kept saying that Dark Knight Returns is the single most important piece of this movie?
mm, yeah.
Do you remember how Dark Knight Returns ends?
Uh, with Batman in the coffin and he stabs Superman.
Yeah, Batman pretends to be dead. Now, Superman is not pretending to be dead in this. He is dead. He gets stabbed right through the fucking heart, or the chest, rather, whatever, by Doomsday, who has grown a bone spike out of his arm after Wonder Woman cut it off with her sword. Holy shit. Um, Now, of course, he's been nuked. He has had kryptonite gas blown up in his face 2 or 3 times, and Batman's already cut him with a kryptonite spear. So he's kind of weak at this point in time. If you remember, Dark Knight Returns, uh, Batman fakes his death, and at the end of
Yeah.
it, Superman hears the heartbeat coming out of his coffin, after he's buried. So he realizes, oh, okay, he actually did beat me. You know, uh, in the comic storyline, Batman beats the shit out of him and then tells him the epic line of, "For the rest of your days, I want you to remember you were beaten by a man." Type line, you know, which is not word for word what he says. I don't remember exactly offhand, but it's the most threatening thing Batman's ever said to me. Uh, so then he fakes his death. That's basically what Superman is. He's in the coffin, and Lois has just thrown a handful of dirt in there. They're actually in Smallville, Kansas, and there at the same time there is an empty coffin funeral being done by the U.S. government, and there's memorials, you know, in Metropolis and stuff to him. You know, basically they're putting an empty box in the ground to honor him, you know, because they don't know how really to grieve that he's gone. So there's the funeral in Kansas, uh, the announcement in the Daily Planet that he's dead, and so Lois has just thrown a handful of dirt on there, and she's walking off. And throughout the entire sequence of this, you keep hearing this dum dum noise, like it just sounds like it's part of the music playing at first, but around the time she walks away, you realize it's a fucking heartbeat. Like it's
Hmm.
not the music, it's a heartbeat. And the last shot of the movie is the dirt that she had thrown down there kind of rattles and then starts to rise up like yes, yes, he's still alive. uh, but it's really well done, and um, it kind of brought a few tears to my eyes to watch it.
Hmm. Sounds promising.
It is, but we're like an hour into this, and it's 2:30 in the morning, and I gotta get up in a little bit. But yeah, Nick, go watch it, and we'll do your review, and you can talk for an hour on Monday, and maybe spoiler free. Maybe we'll edit both of this into spoiler free. You know what? Fuck it, spoiler free right now. In fact, I'm gonna say a few words that are spoiler free, and then I'll actually rip this, you know, cut this out
I'm not
of this video
sure.
and make
I'm
it
not
its
sure that's
own.
possible. Or oh, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. There's just been so many spoilers that you've said so far.
No, see, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually um, make a copy of this video, and then I'm gonna cut out the spoiler free review thing. So here's your spoiler free review. Go see the movie.
Wait, you have to get a rating too.
Oh yeah, the rating. Go see the goddamn movie. There you go. And in fact, it is 5. Go see the goddamn movies out of 5. Go see the goddamn movies.
Actually, that's gonna be the rating system that we use from now on. We're not giving stars. We're gonna give go see the goddamn movies.
Yeah, yeah. And if it's bad, don't go see the goddamn movie.
No, no, it's still go see the goddamn movie.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. So it gets 5. Go see the goddamn movies. Okay. Go seriously.
Unless
Go
it's
see it.
so
Make up
bad.
your own damn
Unless
mind
it's
about it.
so bad. Unless it's so bad, we go into a negative star zone. We go into a negative zone.
I think like the past 3 episodes have been negative. But okay, realistically, I was actually quite pleased with the movie. I really was. Um, I did have some reservations going into it. I was one of the people who walked in there thinking this is going to suck. I like, and the reason I say that is because I knew what was going to happen. I figured it was going to suck. I figured there was going to be a lot of badness to it, and I was disappointed. I was wrong. I mean, like I said, the pacing, everything's fine. It's a good movie. It really is. Go see it. Anyway, we're gonna cut this off right now. Almost an hour. Kind of tired of talking about Batman vs Superman for the weekend. I guess, even though it's kind of hard to not talk about it because I want to keep talking, but we're going to cut it off for now. So that'll be it for today. Please remember to like this video, comment on it, share it, subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, and we'll talk to you Monday.
Goodbye, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the movie. And Jonathan says go see the goddamn movie. And we'll see if I tell you to go see the goddamn movie on Monday. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.